From Mossad's assassinations, from female assassin hired by Israel, and the war crimes of the IDF, this is the dark history of Israel. The Pegasus surveillance system. Mass surveillance across the world through a spyware called Pegasus. It was developed by an Israeli technology group called NSO Group. And they've been surveying over 180 journalists and possibly linked with murder and assassination. Now, what does this Pegasus spyware do? Well, it can access all the contents on your phone, it can access all your messages, as well as the camera and microphone. So maybe my phone is already infected with it while I'm doing research. No, I was kidding. No, they could never assassinate me. Just kidding. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm gonna jinx. And basically, it's a worldwide operation. They target human rights activists, they target journalists, and even political opponents. One case we have is a guy called Cecilia Penida, and he was about to talk. Well, he did talk about the links between the local police and the local state.
Refiere que hay compromisos muy fuertes entre el gobierno y este líder criminal y va a seguir habiendo muertes puesto que no quieren actuar como debe de ser.
2 hours later he died and his phone disappeared. So we suspect maybe it is the NSO group or maybe something associated. We weren't sure, but possibly we believe his phone was also infected by the Pegasus software. We also had other journalists who were affected by the Pegasus software, and they were hired assailants who attacked them and beat them. And we might also think that Pegasus might be giving the location of the people and getting these, making it easier maybe for governments to destroy these political opponents. So maybe I'm next. Maybe my phone is infected, and the people are coming right now. The IDF Thirst Traps. Now, thirst traps aren't bad. I'm not against thirst traps. The problem with the IDF Thirst Traps that have been appearing on TikTok is probably some sort of nationalism, this agenda that the IDF has been promoting. Especially in something like Operation Guardian of the Walls, with 128 Palestinian civilians were killed during the bombings against Hamas, as well as in Operation Breaking Dawn, with 16 civilians that were harmed during the operation. Now, we're not going to get into is IDF bad, is it good? But military, it's a moral question. Should the military be able to use women to do these kind of thirst traps? It's also a moral question. So, what do you guys think? Operation Wrath of God. During an event called Black September, 11 Olympians from Israel were held hostage, and during rescue operations, all of these 11 Olympians died, as well as 5 people who were keeping them hostage from the Palestine Liberation Organization. Now, the result is Committee X. Israel formed Committee X, and Committee X formed a new group called Bayonet. They were formed with members of Mossad, which is Israel's CIA, as well as members of the IDF. Anyways, Bayonet was tasked in assassinating many people. First target was Wael Zael, and he assassinated people in, he was assassinated in a lobby in Rome, Italy. Then we have another target called Hamshan, and basically he answered his phone, and then boom, a bomb exploded, and he passed away. The next target was to assassinate a guy called Youssef al-Najj, and he was in a heavily barricaded fortress. And what happened was they sent people, Israelis in civilian clothing, and Israeli paratroopers who came down and assassinated him. Now, it continues, but now it goes a little bit less well. And this is where they tried to assassinate a guy called the Red Prince. So they first tried to find a guy in Norway and basically fired at this waiter and wasn't No, it was just an average guy, wasn't the Red Prince. Now, they try again in Switzerland, and they kill 3 Arab people. And, well, turns out it wasn't the Red Prince either. Then they go to London, and they send this agent there, and this agent gets seduced by another agent. And then that other agent assassinates their agent. And then, as a revenge, they're gonna assassinate the agent from that other agency. And it's really, really messy. And they still haven't assassinated the Red Prince. And they would eventually assassinate him in Beirut, Lebanon, as a car bomb. Operation Diamond. This operation was about stealing a Russian plane called the MiG-21. According to some sources, this was the most advanced plane of that time and would have given a significant advantage to Israel if they managed to steal it. Now, the first beginning of this operation, well, they sent some agents and they were caught and they were. Then the next one, they sent even more agents and, well, they had to beat up some Iraqi pilots so that they keep silent about what they tried to steal. Now, they finally found one Iraqi pilot that would cooperate, and his name was Munir Rej. He was a Christian pilot and basically got possibly I think a pretty woman to come to him and kind of like convince him that he needed to do this. And, well, then she convinced him that they should go to a vacation together in Israel. And this is where they offered him $1 million as well as the protection of his entire family and I believe also Israeli citizenship. And this plane was a pretty advanced plane as well. And, well, he agreed and basically stole this plane. And some sources think that this plane gave a huge advantage to Israel during the 6 Days War against Egypt. The Caves of the Patriarch massacre. And what happened was that Israel placed this place called the Caves of the Patriarch as a national Israeli site, which the Palestinians weren't very happy. So the result was that Palestinians were throwing rocks on the IDF and the Israeli police. What happened was, well, one guy was very mad about it and decided to commit a mass. He went to the Ibrahimi mosque while many people were praying during the months of Ramadan. It's a holy month in Muslim culture. The Jewish people, it was also a very holy day. It was on the day of Purim. And in this very, very holy day, well, he decided to kill people praying. He shot 29 people dead, as well as 125 were wounded. Basically opened fire on these people who were praying. And, well, the results, it's not that mixed. Well, most people in Israel believe that this guy is a huge extremist. Well, he was also part of very extreme Jewish leagues, so he was part of the Kash and the Jewish Defense League, whose goal was to defend anti-Semitism to all cost. But this is not anti-Semitism. They were people praying. They were not anti-Semitic. Well, most people in Israel, luckily, consider this guy as this extremist. But some people in Israel were saying that this guy is a martyr and a hero. The abduction of Mordecai Vanunu. This is about a guy who revealed nuclear secrets to the press and was abducted by female seductive Mossad agent. Now, you can't see my pretty face for this one because I didn't record it, but this is worth a small listen. In 1986, Vanunu exposed Israel's secret nuclear program and he had to pay the price for it. And this is where a Mossad agent called Cheryl Bentov arrives in the picture. And she kind of seduces him and makes him want to travel to Rome, Italy. In Rome, Italy, she would lead him to 3 male Mossad agents that would overpower him and inject him with a paralyzing dose that would make him and would bring him back to Israel and would condemn him to prison. He was put in solitary confinement and accused Mossad of trying to make him go crazy. Since his release, he has been arrested multiple times for trying to leave Israel and also talking to foreign press. Alright, so thank you so much for watching this video. I spent a lot of effort in these videos, so I would very appreciate if you could put a subscribe and a like. I never like to ask for these kind of things, but if you do enjoy my videos, I want to see more of my videos, I encourage you to press that button, and I'll see you guys for my next video next week.